I can see the stars align, dance around the moon every night. And now my eyes are open wide, and the sky has never looked so bright. And I don't need to see the road to believe, yeah. 'Cause this is where I'm meant to be, I believe. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine, and I feel the magic, can you imagine, and I feel the magic, it's all around us, and I feel the magic, it's all around us. There's wonder on this winding road in front of me, yeah. 'Cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine, and I feel the magic, can you imagine, and I feel the magic, it's all around us, and I feel the
I do feel the magic, and I feel the magic of Kelly and Lisa. Good evening, girls. You're in nice and early this evening. And Karen Mack, how you going? Nice to see you this Monday evening. So we've had Easter last week. I hope you all had a lovely time over Easter. It's looking a little bit bright up there tonight. Goodness me. So I've got lots of exciting things to share with you tonight. And what we're going to talk about is the sanctuary of inner mastery, because as I've been working through some things today, I was sitting in a circle with some beautiful divine beings, archangels no less. And the one that came through for tonight is Archangel H.E.A.L. Archangel H.E.A.L has, it's really hard to say one has an amazing energy, because they all have an amazing divine energy, right? Archangel H.E.A.L has an incredible graciousness. It's another word that you would say about all of the archangels. Anyway, Archangel H.E.A.L came through today and has a most beautiful message for you all, and it was actually in answer to something that I had asked about because of what I have been observing and reading for a while now, and kind of got tired of it. So I asked, because it didn't align, and when you're not aligned, then things don't work, and it's as simple as that. So I'll tell you what Archangel H.E.A.L says as we go through tonight's beautiful topic, the sanctuary of inner mastery. But before we go there, I just want to give you a few little updates on things. So I've mentioned before that I will be running a retreat in Busselton in the second week of September. Okay, now you are more than welcome to let other people know, to invite other people. It will be for 4 days, and I'm not going to tell you the title of it yet And there's a reason for that. So you'll have to wait, but I promise you that 4 days is going to be deeply transformational, deeply. And it will be in a way that when you leave, you won't simply slip back into old ways, which most often happens. People do a course, they go to a weekend, something or other, and then they go home and they just go back to everything that they've been doing before. Quite useless, really, isn't it? So this will be deeply transformational and leave you with transformation that is for the rest of your life. Is that a big statement? No, because I know what can happen at these retreats. I've seen it, and there's people that can share their experience with you. So that's coming up, and yes, I will have the webpage up and information about it and the name soon enough. All right, but I'm giving you forewarning. Good evening, Kat Gray, and welcome. Forewarning that retreat is on in the second week of September, and it's in Busselton. If you are in Victoria, you can actually fly direct from Victoria, from Melbourne to Busselton. How cool is that? So that's one part of news. The other part of news is the topics that we've had in the Spirit Seekers Society in the last couple of weeks. So we've had our monthly session, which was amazing. And then we've had the topic about how to connect with your angels and guides. And this is something that so many people have difficulty with, connecting with their angels and guides. So that's something. So I'm just going to try and get the reflection, which didn't work, out of it. Hi, Kat. We've got 2 lots of good evening for you. Is everything okay your end? And then last month we were talking in the society about the 7 kingdoms that support you. And I'm going to go deeper into that. And it is actually going to be part of the retreat. I'm just going to give you little snippets. It is going to be part of the retreat, and we're going to go through some transformational experiential experience in the retreat about connecting with those 7 kingdoms. And the reason for that is what leads me to tonight's topic, right, which I'll come to you about, which is what Archangel H.E.A.L answered me on, as did the others. But it was interesting. It was H.E.A.L that came forward to give a blessing for you and insights about this particular topic. The other bit of news I want to share with you is that I'm very delighted to say that I had an email today to tell me that I have been selected to be a regular columnist. It's a good tongue twister. Columnist. Oh, good, Cat. In Kizzy's Health Journal. And I'm rapt about that because they are completely holistic. So I can write on any of the topics that I work with. So I'm delighted about that, and I would like you all to know about Kizzy's Health Journal. And I will put up the link for that. I'll be sending out an email about it so that you can also have a look at all the different help that's in there. Beautiful topics and information, things to work with. What other news was there? Oh, yes. In Perth, next month is the aim, not until the end of next month though. I am going to hold an evening of mediumship, spiritual guidance and healing. Oh, what a mouthful. So an evening of mediumship, what does that mean? That means me talking to loved ones, pets that have gone from this world, bring their messages through for you. Spiritual guidance, so opening to your guides, the angels that work with you or that are answering you and bringing you their guidance. And of course, healing. So bringing in the energy of the divine for healing for everyone present. And that is going to be an in-person event here in Perth at the end of May. And then I'm going to go across to Victoria and run that event there as well. So there will be an event in Victoria for an evening of mediumship, spiritual guidance, and healing. Who's excited? Me. I am. And something, thanks, Karen, Matt. Oh, I don't know, Lisa. I don't know. It's just I'm waiting for the guidance. I'll let you know. As soon as I know, I'll let you know. I'm just letting you know the news of the minute. And then we'll come to the finer details for you. Oh, by the way, the retreats that I run are not segregated to just women. I've had men on my retreats before, and the transformation for them has been equally as amazing as it has for the ladies that have been there. Thanks, Kelly. I'm excited. So that's the news. Ta-da, the news segment. Now, the second part of what I wanted to talk to you about was a really cool healing that I had the pleasure of facilitating this morning for a 6-year-old boy. Yeah, 6. So the youngest that I've had is a new baby. Can't get much younger than that. In vitro baby, yeah, so there you go. But this little boy, 6 years of age, the parents were floored to find out at the end of last year. Jackie, hello, welcome. The parents were floored to be told at the end of last year that their boy probably needed to be seen by a specialist pediatrician, that he had learning difficulties, behavioural difficulties, wasn't able to focus. So, all these things were pointing at, maybe autism, ADHD. These are teachers, by the way, not health people. So they're telling the parents this, and the reason for it was that they said that he had not met the required levels for his age. Now, I told these parents when their boy was 4 that going to school for him at the age that's now required was not going to be beneficial to him because he was too young, meaning his soul is not caught up to this physical age. His physical self was not able to cope with the strenuousness of going to school and the demands of school for them when they are so young. And he's not alone. There are a lot of children that have been wrongly diagnosed, and I'll stand by that, and I will butt heads with any health professional that wants to do that. The schooling system has made it increasingly difficult for children, and through that, many of them are diagnosed with all sorts of stuff. So the parents were absolutely floored and felt that they had failed, which is often the case for parents because their little fella couldn't learn. And I had said to them when he was 4, when he goes to school, he is not going to do well. And it is nothing to do with him being able to learn. He can learn. It will be the system and the way that they teach, the way that they handle him, and also because he's too young. So here we are, 2 years on, and they're having all this meetings and things with the school. In the end, Mum booked a healing with me to see what was going on, and it was amazing. So this little fella was, yes, Kat, absolutely. And their little minds can't take in all that concentration. So this little fella came into the world via C-section, so cesarean section. And what I saw was that when they were taking him out, which as a theatre nurse, I did many C-sections. I was scrub nurse for them. As he was being lifted out of the womb, he wasn't there. He hadn't arrived. He hadn't actually come to embody his body. And so he crash landed, essentially, if I put this into simple terms, just to make it easier for everyone to get a visual of. So he kind of crash landed, and he didn't land completely into his physical self. So he has been kind of, if I say, and don't take it literally, I'm just trying to paint the picture. He was kind of half in, half out of his body. And then in the last year, the parents contacted me because he was talking about the Batman. And he was terrified in his room and terrified in the bathroom, to the point where the parents had to start having him shower in their bathroom because he just wouldn't go near his bathroom. And they asked me to help with that, what's going on with this Batman. And then there were other dark forces that had come along to torment this kid. So he's got all this stuff going on at school. Then he started really arcing up about going to school, and they were having a terrible time with him. And then this Batman, as he described him, and he would describe that there was a Batman that would lay across his roof, that he was all black and he had big black wings. That made me go, oh, well, this is not good. So helping him with that. So this is the little fella that was on my healing table today. And it was amazing to see where he was sitting outside of himself, what was going on with him at night. And even during the day when he didn't want to be working at school, he would just step out of himself and go look around. So he wasn't even home. I'm sorry, makes me laugh because I can see what he's up to. So the other thing that I found that I was able to see was the anvil in his right ear had not developed properly. There you go, Kat. Yep, see, being terrorised by the unseen. So the anvil hadn't grown properly, developed properly in his right ear. So that was creating a lot of problems with balance for him, and also a bowel problem where his bowel would let go and him not even know. And then there's other issues around that. And the thing that was really amazing was that what he sees, and this applies to everybody at every age, but for this little fella, because of the other complications so early, at only 4, or since he's arrived really, what he sees around him, and at school now, what he sees is other children that are liked more than him, that do better than him, who are getting better grades and things like that, and they're made a fuss of by the teacher. He's often in trouble for not sitting, not doing, not paying attention, all that stuff. So he, looking at that outside world, affected his center of power and his belief in his own worth, and that affected and has affected his self-acceptance. So what does he do? He acts out. He acts out like so many kids do, and he's a nightmare. But what he's acting out on is what he's seeing in the outside world that is telling him he's not accepted, he's not worthy. But, and this is the important point for everyone, the outside world is not showing him a falseness. The outside world is triggering something that is already sitting within him. So I removed that, aligned all of his soul, his spirit, therefore all of his meridian lines, his chakras, the wholeness of him, and made him into the wholeness that he is. Being the type of soul he is, it was great pleasure informing his mother that he is in this world to be a disruptor. He's here to be a disruptor of the system. And she said, well, he's done a good job so far. I said, no, well, yeah, differently. And then when he gets to 16, he's just suddenly going to give it up. He's just suddenly going to go, well, this is the way I'm going. He will still live his life his way. He will never live it according to the box or the system. So I like his spunk. I like his fire. In the meantime, he's a nightmare. And so when I said 16 is where he will settle and, live life differently, a lot more calmly, Mum said, oh, only another 10 years. And I said, well, yeah, what you've had so far is nothing compared to what's coming. So here's this child being a disruptor to the system, to upheaval everything that's been believed in and status quo and all the rest of it here, and a trailblazer. So that I loved about him because I relate to that. And he, of course, was fidgety on the table for a while. And then I asked that he be settled and quiet. And all of a sudden, he just laid his arms out and that was it. No more blah, blah, no more anything from him. So it was a really cool session. And the reason I'm sharing it with you is because so many can relate with their children of current time, because this is not uncommon. The schooling system has really done a good job on the kids and bringing them in so soon. Then there are the parents want to have more, be more wealthy, achieve more quicker. Therefore, babies are put into care. There is a care place near me and they promote from 0, I couldn't believe it, from 0 to 8. And I went, from 0? Really? Mothers are handing their babies over from 0? Wow. So, there's a lot on these kids these days, tremendous amount. Now, I'm not saying children shouldn't go into care, because I had to have mine looked after when I was a single mother and nursing. But in the end, recognising it was just no good for my son, I ended up having an in-house nanny. Best thing ever. And also better for him. Better for all of us. Kim Jane, hello. Yes, you made it. You missed the first part, Kim, but hey, that's cool. It's so good to see you. Let me just catch up. Kat, yeah, your daughter. Jackie, epilepsy began when my granddaughter started school, 5 years of age. Yeah, way too much stress. Kat was lucky with her granddaughter. She had a very understanding prep school teacher and let her develop at her own pace. That's a rarity, Kat, and that's wonderful. I'm going to tell you that was the work of your granddaughter's guides and her team, her heavenly team, that made sure that she was being well looked after. So that's awesome. Lisa, yeah. Yes, it is hell for them, and sadly most of them end up believing what they're told by teachers and taking them to be medicated. In fact, this mother was telling me that in her older boy's class, there are only 3 children in his class, and he is 8. There are only 3 children in his class who are not medicated. I won't say any more. It's sad, Kat. Karen Mack, she relates, experienced this with her son. Mentioned that she's saying that I've mentioned it in a session. Yeah. So the message in this is that just because a child doesn't toe the line, doesn't fit in to the system, it does not mean that there's anything wrong with them. And as the mother said today, she said, you told me when he was 3, when I called you about him, that he was going to be a challenge and that he'd come in to be a problem in the world, and other things. So it was really amazing. And she was saying how much more helpful. But at the same time, she's caught in believing that a child must fit into the system. And this is where we get this incongruency, where things are not in alignment. Parent says one thing, but they do another. We could probably think of people in the last 3 years that have done that. And also all the time. We've spoken before about when you are not honourable to your soul by telling little mistruths, by using health, money, what's the third one? Health, money, time as an excuse for not doing something, not attending something. These things all create a disturbance in your energy fields and with the alignment for you between your personality and your soul. So really important that when a parent is looking at something for their child, that they're not just whacking this and then doing something else, because that actually creates things to be out of alignment, not only for them, but for the child as well. So tonight's topic that came through, the sanctuary of inner mastery, which I'm going to coin that and copyright it. Already have, actually. Oh, yes, Kelly. Yeah, that's a really interesting one, isn't it? And that's been a very good money spinner with the medical world. I'm going to digress here for a moment because of what Kelly's raised. Some of you may have heard me. There you go, Kat. Yep. May have heard me talk about Alzheimer's and dementia, and I've never believed that it is what the medical world say it is, because I've been able to connect with souls that have been diagnosed with it, even while they're still here and then when they've passed. And they've shown me, because after they've left this world and gone to the library of life, what I call the healing plane of heaven, the library of life, and others call it your life review, plane of life review, and you all get to go there, but you can't wait. That they've shown me what it was in their life that made them take the choice of stepping out of their mind. So I'm a member of the American Holistic Practitioners Association. Very good of them to take me on. Been a member for years now. And so I get their newsletters. And last week there was a newsletter from a man who always wanted to be a psychiatrist. So he went into, good girl, Kat, stick to that. He went into psychiatry, and the more he went into it, the more frustrated he got in seeing that the only answer that was given was medication. And he felt that he just couldn't do that. He said there was something inside him going, I can't do that. So he left and he went across, he did his degree, but he didn't want to work in it. He wanted to do better. So he went across to imaging of the brain. So higher than a CAT scan, right? And he went across to that because he was so intrigued with the brain and the way the brain works. And that's what really got me with his article and his talk, because the reason I went into theatre was because what I saw on the wards intrigued me with the way people healed or didn't heal. And I wanted to know what went on the inside. So this man's done the same, but he specialised with the brain. And he's taken these incredible images of the brain. And the first thing he put up was the one of a patient with advanced Alzheimer's. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The brain, he's got a picture of the healthy brain, and a healthy brain looks like a walnut. Don't let me put you off eating walnuts. And then the other one of the advanced dementia is, oh, it's yuck. It's all, it's like a seascape, a coastline that's been eroded, eaten away. Now, he believed that there was something about the person's thinking that caused this. So he started to do studies on the people that came through that he'd done imaging on. And wouldn't you believe it? Oh, truly, I've written to him. I was so excited. He found that every one of them felt they were trapped in their life in one way or another. And with not being able to get out of it, they started to diminish the use of their brain and diminish the way that they acted cognitively. Truly, I'm so excited. I can't wait to have the connection with him. People think I'm crazy when I say that, but, I'm probably used to that, and I don't care. I won't give it up. So he has started to work. He actually opened a centre in the States to help people out of their way, and my dream is to get there before he dies and meet him and even be able to do some work there. So forward from him, I don't know if any of you watch good old TV, but there's a program called 60 Minutes, which I wouldn't go near with a barge pole. Somebody sent me the link, or did it come up on my feed out of nowhere? And it's about this man from the east coast of Australia who is now in Thailand, and he works at a resort over there specifically for people with dementia and senility. And he is turning them around and bringing them back to be the person they really are and that they were before they were diagnosed with that and put on heaps of meds, right? Just a little insertion here, just in case YouTube have a little panic attack. I am not saying come off meds or anything like that. I'm talking about a real proven experience. So today I'd sent out and said, I want connection with that fellow. Turns out he's a nurse. He loved my comment on what he's doing because I applauded him, and he commented. He's been messaging me today, and he said, I don't know anything about you, but energetically you feel different, and I'm curious. So I've got that connection with him, and there's another place that I want to open that door to open the awareness of dementia and the impact that our thoughts, our held emotions, and everything have on our well-being and on our health. Just loving it. So excited. So that leads me into what tonight's talk is about. Thanks, Jackie. Yeah, it's very exciting, awesome. Yeah, thanks, Kat. It is. I'm wrapped. I really am. So, what is your inner mastery? It's the wellspring of pure joy and love within you. And within that is your wisdom, your confidence of the soul, your power, your source of healing, your guidance. That's what's in it. And it is a sanctuary of inner mastery. The trouble is, who lives in it? And this is where Archangel H.E.A.L came in with some beautiful, Linda God, you just missed the awesome, exciting news. But welcome, love. Good to have you here. And you're in time for tonight's topic, which is something I've coined as a copyright, Sanctuary of the Inner Mastery. The thing is, when you are in your sanctuary of inner mastery, you have clarity, you have decisiveness, you have healing, you have alignment in abundance. You create abundance. You're an incredible creator. You have courage to know when to walk away from relationships. Your relationships change, and they change for the better. What is it that makes us not be in that wellspring, our natural wellspring? Distraction. Things that we've been talking about earlier tonight. So the list that H.E.A.L gave, Archangel Haniel and Uriel were also with me. As I said, I was sitting in a circle with divine beings and H.E.A.L. And these are the three that came to assist you tonight. And I remind you that when you sit with us in Soul and Beyond with these chats, you always receive healing energy. And it is an ideal time for you to ask for guidance, because they will quietly speak to you, whichever archangel is present, and you don't always have to know. That's the thing. This is one of the biggest reasons that people are not in their sanctuary of inner mastery, is because they're in the mind. So Archangel H.E.A.L says, I asked why he was present and came through, and the answer was to lift the veil from your eyes so that you can see more clearly what is in front of you, to clear the distractions. Your vision is distorted and sees only that of the confused world around you. If you'd like me to read that again, I will. I asked how we may know. This is for all of you. I asked how you may know H.E.A.L's presence. And the answer was, you may know me by my shield of light. It is silver blue. And it's interesting because when I was sitting in that beautiful deep space with them, I kept seeing this amazing shimmer of silver blue light. Okay, thank you, I will. Archangel H.E.A.L says that he is with us tonight, and to bring this message to you, to lift the veil from your eyes so that you can see more clearly what is in front of you, clear the distractions. Your vision is distorted and sees only that of the confused world around you. And H.E.A.L's colour is silver blue. It is an incredible silver blue. The colours are not like here in this world, but if you can get an image in your mind of a silver blue, you will call Archangel H.E.A.L to you. You're welcome, Kat. So the thing is, there is no separate part of you. There's no separate bit. Like, this is why I was having this conversation with the archangels this afternoon, because I saw a great big write-up from someone about them finding that the reason they're having all these life difficulties, health difficulties, personality issues was because their central nervous system, and it was all caused by their nervous system. You know, over the years, it's gone from the mother wound, the parent wound, the womb wound. I can't help but be a bit facetious with this. The patriarchal system, the matriarchal system. Now it's the nervous system. For Pete's sake, people, when you wake up to the fact that there is nothing separate about you, there can't be, because this was the other part of what was automatically written from Archangel H.E.A.L. You are a whole and complete being. Your spirit, soul, ego, personality, divine divinity are not separate parts of you. They are the sum of you. Did you get that? You are a whole and complete being. Your spirit, soul, ego, personality, divine divinity are not separate parts of you. They are the sum of you. Ooh, cat. Wowzers. Yes, it is beautiful, isn't it, Jackie? H.E.A.L went on to say the separation is encouraged. It is formed through dogma, religion, education, medication, beliefs, and habits, which are created from the time you arrive through family relationships, childhood experiences. Your soul, now this is the really important part, your soul chose to have particular experiences for the purpose of growth and expansion and evolution. The question is, are you aligned with the experiences your soul came to have, or are you caught up in the outer world of distraction and confusion? Because it's when you're caught up in the outer world. Remember the little boy I was talking about? The outer world was triggering things that were sitting within him. So if we delve into what's caused that in such a new soul, then we can find out whether that was actually what he has come to experience, or if it is something that has been learnt, handed down, imprinted through the way that he's been raised. So isn't it fascinating? Your soul chose to have particular experiences for the purpose of growth, expansion, and evolution. But are you aligned to those experiences, or are you way off track? It's really cool, don't you think? When people say things like, oh, I'm going off for the weekend to do a course on my central nervous system, can you see how that creates this sense of separation? Your central nervous system, so your focus is on the central nervous system, or your focus is on the mother wound or the womb, or, something else, some other name. It's a load of rubbish. All that does is take your attention to just that. Now, I can probably hear Kelly and a couple of other people going, yeah, but what if you get into that and through that you find all this stuff that's going on and you're able to heal that? Well, that might sound well and good, and it may very well sound feasible, makes sense. The point from Archangel H.E.A.L is that as soon as we begin to look at ourselves as separate, so we separate a system, an organ, we've lost our ability to be in alignment. Do you see? Does that make sense? So it's really important to look at yourself as a whole being. So when you are healing and you want to heal something, say you've been H.E.A.L, help out here. Say you have sliced your thumb open while you were cutting vegetables. So obviously, it's bleeding everywhere. Thanks, Jackie. It's bleeding everywhere. So your thoughts are, I've got to stop the bleeding, and ow, 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 because there's loads of nerve endings in our fingertips. And by the way, in your fingertips is where your DNA codes are. Ooh, your special codes. Yeah. So when you slice this open, your focus is there. Then when you want it to get better, your focus is, I can't do anything. I need my thumb to get better. If instead you were to dress it, hold it, bring it to your heart, and ask, where was I just then? because there are no such thing as accidents. So where was my attention when I was cutting that vegetable? Be honest with yourself and find the answer, and then be honest enough to go deep and ask, well, what's in that? Why was I giving my attention to that? What can I learn from that? Is this something that is going to be an experience that I can evolve from, or was this because I was distracted and it's nothing to do with something that my soul wanted to learn? How's that sitting with you? If, for example, you get migraines, you get really bad periods, or used to have really bad periods, hip problems, pelvic problems, teeth problems, anything. If your attention is purely on that, and say you're a practitioner that works with energy, and maybe you're very much into the chakras, so you will be looking at the chakra, but you're only looking at one. And yes, you may very well find, oh, yeah, well, that chakra goes to my sense of security and my sense of safety, my sense of nurture. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Thanks, Jackie. Absolutely. But it's not the whole picture, is it? It's only a little tiny facet of the whole picture. Nothing can heal when we're not looking at the whole picture. So Archangel H.E.A.L's words, you are a whole and complete being. Now, in the spiritual communities, did I say that right? Spiritual communities, they like to separate personality, ego, soul, spirit. And even myself, I was previously looking at the ego self and the soul self, instead of looking at how they actually work as a team and how they cannot be separated. Like a lot of people say, oh, I just need to get rid of my ego. And there are certain factions in the spiritual world who talk about that. Well, the news is you can't. The ego is one of the facets of your whole being. And what it comes down to is what the topic is, being aligned to the sanctuary of your inner mastery. And no. She lost me. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate that. Thanks, Kat and Linda, for answering. Lisa must have dropped out. So being able to, welcome back, being able to see yourself as a whole being opens the way for you to be able to look at habits, beliefs, food choices, exercise choices or not, and learn more about what those choices are about. Because a particular exercise that you do has a reason. You do it for a reason. What is that reason? So looking into your reasons for things that you believe are you is one way to begin to understand how your personality may be outshining and over controlling the will and the desire of your soul and your spirit. Then setting about using practices like stillness and meditation to call your higher self forward so that your decisions, your habits, your eating, your exercising, your way of thinking comes through the guidance of your higher self. And this is some of the fun that we're going to have at the retreat in September. I'm going to take you on some really deep dive experiences at that retreat. It's not going to be like anything else, I can promise you that. And the reason for that is because the way the world is going to change. So you either become ascended within yourself, transformed and aligned with your higher self, your soul, or not. And that will determine where you stay or where you go when this world changes. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean this world is going to vanish or be blown out of the universe. It's not like that. So get your heads out of the picture. Get your thinking mind out of the picture. It's not like that at all. This world goes through constant transition. And if you were to look back over long ago prophets, look over what was written about the way humanity was in the day of Jesus, the way of Napoleon Bonaparte, Hitler, the way the world was through those times, and you look at its history, you can see that it is constantly evolving. But does everybody evolve? No. So does everybody move to a different level of this world? No. And that is a choice because you have that awesome gift of free will. Now, what I'd like to do now is invite you to ask questions. Have you got any questions on tonight's topic or about the children? Curious is Victoria, the same workshop. Karen Mack, the workshop, the presentation will be mentorship, spiritual guidance and healing. That's the workshop that I'm bringing to Victoria. The retreat will be held here in Western Australia in Busselton. I haven't made any plans to do a retreat over East at this point in time. So the workshop is mediumship, spiritual guidance and healing, okay, where I'll connect with loved ones, the angels, bring in guidance, bring in healing. That's what I'm going to take to Victoria and also do here in Perth, in person, not online. All right, cool. Is there any other questions on tonight's topic? I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed Archangel H.E.A.L's message for you. And I really appreciate your comments on my being selected to be a regular columnist. I got it in Kizzy's health journal. There's something else that's in the wings, but I'll save that to tell you about later on. Tomorrow, the girls in the School of Wesh have got a really big day. I hope they get lots of sleep tonight. There's going to be some really cool transformation tomorrow. Oh, lovely. Kim Jane, the workshop will be in Victoria. I haven't decided on a date or a venue. I'm just letting you know that I will be coming. And it's a pleasure, Kat Gray. I thank Archangel H.E.A.L and Uriel for their presence, and H.E.A.L. Archangel H.E.A.L is the Archangel of Grace, and oh my gosh, like I say, it's not kosher to say one is more amazing than the other. They all have the most beautiful energies, of course, but it's always with them. Always, oh wow. And it's such a privilege to connect with them, and which you can do too. So it's not select to me. You can also enjoy their presence and have them come through for you as well. Pleasure, Linda Gold. Thanks for making it in tonight. It's really nice to see you. So, all very interesting. Leave the room for a bit. Okay, Kelly. Cool. Thanks for coming in. Glad you did. All right, everyone. Then no questions. I thank you for being with me tonight and for your beautiful energy. Enjoy the healing energy that was brought through for you. And remember, when you register, as Kelly said, she's going to watch it again. That's reason you get, that's why we ask you to register, so that you can watch it again. You can have the replay to see anytime you like. Oh, okay. Yeah, Karen, it all speaks volumes about where you're at in yourself, and then going back to find out what those things are about. Yeah. Everyone enjoy your night, and I'll say good night.